Welcome to week 11 for classroom assessment. I hope that you had a good week last week adjusting to everything moving online and being at home. I hope that you're able to keep up with things in this class and that you were able to complete the quiz. It is something that you can go ahead and take late if you haven't taken it yet. So be sure that you get that done if you haven't. I will be posting grades and comments. I will do my best to get those released to you, but if for some reason you're unable to see the comments on your quiz, then please let me know and I don't have a problem emailing those to you. So I am continuing to hold virtual office hours each week. If you need to meet with me, please show up during those times or schedule another time to meet with me. I'm happy to help with that. So this week, you're going to be reading chapter 12, and which is on formative assessment, and you'll need to know this information in order to be prepared for the test at the end of the semester. I'm sorry, not chapter 12, chapter 13. Oh, no, chapter 12. Sorry, we're in week 11, chapter 12. So you will be reading chapter 12, watch this brief video because you'll be responsible for this information. And also be sure that you read the supplemental reading that kind of goes along with it because there will be questions on our final exam over that. So this week I had planned for you to complete this data analysis, and it's going to go along with your research report that we'll be doing in a couple of weeks. And since this is technically the university's Easter break week, my hope was that it would give you a chance to go and ask questions to family and friends if you are leaving campus or traveling or taking time off this weekend. I know now we're all social distancing, but it is something that you can do in social media or something that you can do in, on a phone call or something as well. So you had a chance to summarize your 3 articles, and I've given you feedback on those. So if you want to change your articles or change your topic, you're more than welcome to do that now. Your final research report is due in a couple of weeks. So this is kind of that second main component that goes along with it. And I want you to gather some data based on the research that you've conducted. So think back to your research question, and I have helped to refine that for you. So be sure that you have a good solid research question, and from that question and the research articles that you found, I want you to create some questions for your family and friends. Now keep in mind that most of the language we use in educational psychology isn't necessarily language that's easy to understand. So if you're going to ask people outside of education, just be sure to keep it more layman's terms. So if my question was about affective assessments, like we learned about in chapter 10, I wouldn't want to ask people about affective assessments because likely they don't know exactly what that means. So these are some questions that I might ask family and friends. How did your feelings about the subject, a subject in middle school affect your effort? How did your attitude influence your participation? Did your teachers ever measure your feelings or ever ask you about how you were feeling to make decisions or give you choices while you were in middle school? So what I would suggest is that you have questions that give you specific answers. So give them answer choices like multiple choice, or it could be a yes, no. It could be a Likert scale where you give them a statement and they, strongly agree to strongly disagree, rather than just leaving it open-ended for them to provide, lots of different responses, because that'll make it easier in the data analysis part of it. So try to make it more selected response or Likert scaled. And then I want you to try to get at least 20 responses. So you can post it in Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, or you can create a Google form and email that out to friends and family, or you can just call people and just ask them the question. So after you look at that, I want you to put it in some kind of a table that has the question and then the different responses, how many people responded each different way. And then after that, draw conclusions. So report what the table says, what the data says, and give me like a percentage. So say, 30% of people felt strongly that their attitude influenced their participation in class, while 60% didn't feel that their attitude influenced them at all. And then explain what that means. So the results suggest that attitude may not have a big influence on students' participation, or it does, or most people may not care about this or do care about this, but provide some kind of a conclusion that relates back to your research question. And then you'll submit that. So be sure that you give me the questions that you asked to participants. It's good to include your research question too. Provide a description of your data. That's that paragraph that summarizes your data and then relates it back to the research question, how it helps to kind of answer that. And then be sure that you include some kind of a table where you have your question and the different responses that participants gave. So if you have questions about that this week, please be sure to post them in the class discussion board. I'm happy to provide feedback, or feel free to attend any of my virtual office hours or set up a specific time. I'll be giving you feedback on that over the next week so that you can add that into your research report. And I will be checking my email a couple of times over the Easter break, not necessarily each day, because I am going to spend some much needed time with my husband and kids. But I will be checking a few times. So if you send me an email, it may take me a little more time to respond, but hopefully you'll be able to get through this assignment pretty quickly and easily. And I hope that you're able to take a couple of days off yourself. Thanks.